So the show is called A Cold Sweat 2, The Sweatening, and it's a sequel to our last year's Halloween show. And this year we have 11 artists with artworks out in the yard that are all creepy and spooky and anxious themed artworks. And it's a lot of monsters, a lot of fun.
It's called Blessing. I'm kind of building on a theme. I've been building gods for a couple of years, exploring what that feels like as someone who doesn't really have a capacity for belief. So this is another installation of my pantheon. And then I'm not really sure where I came up with the lever thing. I was thinking about the idea of being blessed, and how in some traditions it seems kind of like a automatic system where you go into a thing and you ask someone for a thing and they say a thing and that's it, and it's really impersonal.
Thinking about witches' hovels or an old cabin you might find in the woods, you know, the Hansel and Gretel thing, or you know, a lonely cabin that's dilapidated where you don't, you know, ravens are flying in and out of it, that sort of scene, but also being inspired by Gothic architecture and old chapels and medieval aesthetics as well. I mean, I really miss having an excuse to put on a costume and run around, but hopefully we'll get up to a little bit of that tomorrow night. But yeah, it definitely is a nostalgic thing, so I'm lucky I get to have art as an outlet for that.
The piece is called Abandoned Ordnance, and yeah, it's sort of a satirical piece on sort of the high water mark of, like, say 2007. So it's a sort of a sad transformer who's sort of down on his luck, poorly made, sort of crumbling monument to sort of a failed American project. And so yeah, in 2007, right before the financial crash, we saw just this blockbuster. The movie Transformers came out. It was sort of a high watermark in terms of pop culture and cinema. But unfortunately, as we found out as of recently, sort of this military-endorsed film.
The show is running October 9th to 31st. So we have 3 weeks for the show up until Halloween, and it's a pay what you can admission. So suggested admission is $10, but we don't want anyone to stay away. We want everyone to be able to come down to the show. And for the opening on Saturday the 9th, we're gonna have DJs in the yard and a bar sponsored by Bent Stick. So it should be a lot of fun.